Good morning, everybody. So this week in phonics, we're going to be looking at prefixes and suffixes. As you can see, we've got a little pencil here that will help us. So in the middle, we have the base word or the root word. So it might be the word jump, zip, big, large. And a prefix is part of a word that we add to our base word or our root word, which then changes the meaning. So for example, unzip. So my base word was zip, my prefix was un, and then I made a new word, unzip. But if I take that un off, I'm left with zip. It could be a suffix. So my base word might be jump, okay? But then if I add a suffix, for example, jumped or jumping, the suffix was the ed or the ing. But if I take the ing or the ed off, I'm still left with my base word, jump, which makes sense on its own. So today, I'm going to use Slinky the dog, okay? And as you can see, for Slinky and the dog, his head is going to be the prefixes. In the middle, his spring is the base word or the root word, so the word that makes sense on its own. And then the suffix is the part of the word added to the end of the base word to change it. And we're going to be looking for the prefix un and suffixes ing, id, and ist. Sounds like ist, spelt like est. And just be careful with the ed, because sometimes when we hear words like jumped, okay, it sounds like a t, but it's not, it's ed. All right, so we're adding that suffix. So what we're going to do, first of all, I have given you some words which you need to spot whether or not it's got a prefix or a suffix. So here are my words. So we have got the word called. All right. Can I spot one of my suffixes? So I'm just going to use my sheet where I've written them down, and I can actually spot an E and a D. So I'm going to chop that part off. And I'm going to check. So here's my suffix. I'm going to check this base word or root word. Does it make sense on its own? So I've got the word cool. So yeah, cool is my base word or root word. But then I changed it by adding the suffix and made it called. So yeah, that one's got a suffix. Let's have a look at the next word. What's the next word? Okay. So can you spot a suffix or a prefix? So we were doing un. Could you spot any of them in our word? And I can see I've got a ing. I've got the ing, so I'm going to chop the ing off. And then I'm going to see whether or not I've got a base word. So a real word, so hunt. Yeah, so hunt. But then I changed that base word, so that's the smallest part of the word that makes sense on its own. But I've added the ing to then make it hunting. Okay, so it might be I can hunt, and then it's I'm going hunting. So we're changing meaning. So yeah, that one's got a suffix. Right, let's have a look at this one. We've got the word unzip. So I need to have a look. Has the word been changed at the end, or has it been changed at the beginning? So I can spot the word zip there, and then I've got the un. So I've got it's at the beginning. So yeah, well done, it's a prefix because it's at the beginning of the word. So if I chop that prefix off, does it leave me with a base word or the root word? So the main word. So the word is zip, okay, which makes sense on its own. But then if I add my prefix, it's then going to be unzip, which changes the meaning of the word. So I can put my coat on, I do my zip up. To take my coat off, I have to unzip it. All right, so we found a prefix. Okay, right. Got the word her, so a high frequency word. And I can actually spot, we've got, here we go, the suffix Yeah, I can spot the So I'm going to chop that one off. because it's got a suffix, hasn't it? Okay. What do you think? Do you agree? Here's my suffix, here's my base word. Oh, is a word? No, it's not, is it? Does that make sense on its own? It doesn't, because it's not a word. So unfortunately, it looks like there is a suffix in it, but that is actually the sound that's needed to make that word. So sometimes you might see the different prefixes and suffixes, but they might not actually be a prefix or suffix in that word. It might just be the sounds that are needed to spell it. So what you guys are going to do today, you're going to hunt for words that have got a prefix or words that have got a suffix, and you might be able to find more prefixes and you might be able to find more suffixes, so some different ones. Okay, and then you're going to have a go at writing it down on Slinky Dog. So for example, I could do the ones that I've already spotted. So this was my first activity I did, but now I can actually put this information in. So my base word, so the word that makes sense on its own before anything is added to it, was cool. But then, have I added a prefix? No, I've not changed the beginning of the word, have I? The head. Okay. Have I changed the end of it, the suffix? Yeah, I've added a suffix, haven't I? So that is bottom. Okay, so my suffix is ed. And then I'm just going to write the word here again. I haven't lined that up very well, have I? And then this time I'm going to put the suffix on the end. And then I'm just going to show it. Okay, so we've got that one. I'm just going to do some of the other ones that I've got. So we've got here, unzip. So which one is my base word? Which one's going to go on the springs? Yep, so the word is zip, isn't it? So, and again, whilst we're doing this, you could be practicing your handwriting. So zip, but did we add a prefix or did we add a suffix? So yeah, the beginning part of the word has changed, so it's a prefix. So then on this side, I'm going to draw my little arrow. We're going to then have zip. And then I'm going to circle my prefix. I'm going to get used to using that language. Prefix, suffix. Miss Beard actually likes to call this a root word. But you can call it a root word or a base word because that's the base part of the word. You can see how many you can find. Okay, Miss B drew her own Slinky Dog. So you could have a go at doing a Slinky Dog, or you could do it with a pencil so that then you can put your words down in a different list. It's completely up to you. You could make your own lists, put in prefix at the top and suffix at the top, and then choose which column you're going to put it in. Have a look through some books, newspapers, posters, anything that you've got in your house, menus that have got anything on them, and see if you can find some different words. And remember, the challenge is can you find some different prefixes, so not just un. Okay, so it might be, I know for respect, the word is respect, the base word's respect, but you might have disrespect, so it's a different prefix. And there are different suffixes, okay? But these are the main ones that we are going to look at today, okay? Enjoy, guys, and remember to let your teachers know how you got on. Bye!